or going back to the breaking down barriers, regardless if we're introverts or not, it's still, there's a lot of distance between people until you get used to being around each other. All right. Rule number 2, the people you're talking to are the whole world. All right. Even if you don't want to talk to this person, if you're talking to it for 2 minutes, that's your world. They'll be looking for who's walking by, or, okay. Be absolutely focused on what you're talking about. Be very concerned about everything they have to tell you. Be very interested in what they're saying. Okay, this is a skill set. This goes back to saying with politicians. They're very good at this, about making you feel like, their day sucked until you walk in and shut their hand. Right? And so don't be looking around to see who else you can talk to, or who you can connect with. It's those folks right there. Let's see. After the conference. So you've gone out and probably made all these week-type connections out there. So maybe you've got a few that you want to continue on with, that you want to continue interacting with. I think the best way to kind of ping those people in the future is not when you need something, which is when you typically reach out to people, right? A lot of people used to do it on birthdays. Facebook kind of ruined that because now we know everybody's birthday, whenever, so that doesn't happen. Well, my typical rule of thumb is that I ping people with opportunities. So, hey, I read this article in the New York Times, thought I'd do it, check it out. Job list, check it out. So if you see an opportunity for somebody you know, that I would typically send it to them. I think that's the best way to kind of keep those contacts fresh and for them to be thinking about you right now. And it'll often spur a conversation. Have a quick email conversation, and I'll let you catch up with you and coffee, whatever. That's a good way to kind of keep and renew your opportunity, your week contact. Because with all things, I think we've all had this thing where you've got maybe week-type connections out there. We're not talking in a few years, or you're seeing a Publix or at a Bucks game, and you pretend like we don't see each other. Right? We've been in that awkward phase where, I don't know, should we acknowledge that we know each other now? Okay. So, you put effort into knowing that person, you spend time with each other, and now you wasted it. You don't continually ping your week time right now and keep that relationship alive. Finally, anybody who is going to be a new strong tie in your life, you need to integrate with your current strong ties. This helps out in professional networks, so anybody that you're going to become really tight with, you're going to want to integrate with all your tight professional connections. Definitely works out in the dating world, right? If you really like somebody, you better make sure that all of your close friends and family like that person. You gotta get that in there. Yes, sir.
Can you make really a week time the first two minutes of the conversations, or does it take the 30 minutes to make a week time?
I don't think it takes 30 minutes to make a week time. I think the 30 minutes is probably somebody that there's a real professional opportunity for you there, or maybe you just really connect on a personal level with that person. Maybe this is somebody who could be a friendship, a professional. That's what I reserve the 30 minutes. I think after a few 2-minute conversations with them, I think it's a nice courtesy to hand out business cards or whatever, but even after that, but it takes more than just a few conversations to do that to kind of build that week time. So, maybe connecting with them by sending them an opportunity every now and then. That's what it do. All right, questions? You can see the castle now. You can see this one. There.
How can we avoid this for, homework? Make sure
The slides? So Wendy, is there a way to make them available?
Yes, I can make them available. We've actually started a business resources part of our website where we're posting slides and videos for our presentation. So if I have your permission, I'll put those up there on that. And I'm moving, So if I forget, send me an email, because tomorrow's gonna be a little hectic of a day. So we'll make sure those get up, but if they don't get up the next day or two, please email me if you're like.
Anybody else? Sir?
Is that on personal access online as well, like marketing, ethical involved? Industry?
I think that's really up to you and also what your industry is. Remember, I don't do blogging. I aspire to do blogging every now and then. It takes a lot of time and effort, right? So I think it's a lot easier to, you always want to be appraised of what's going on in your business. So it's probably easier to read all these things and then forward some blogs to people as a way. Because that way, instead of broadcasting it, you're actually connecting with somebody. But you have to make content. That'd be my advice. Good question. Sir?
Prior to this, I guess my personal experience has been when you're networking, because of the short time you may have, you do pick up a lot of business cards, and I've had very good successful follow-up meetings with them or whatever, So I find that has worked for me. I don't know how that fits into what you were saying.
What I would say is your follow-up meetings is what work for you. So what I'm trying to suggest here is to, rather than getting cards, selecting through who you want to meet with, and then scheduling future meetings, it would be to meet a lot of people as opposed to just a select few of these events.
So your suggestion is when you go into networking groups, you want to try to reach out to as many people as you can?
Right.
But wouldn't that be non-effective? I think my thought process is if you go for a networking, I can find 2, 3, 4 people that I can get to know well,
Sure.
and I can be a lot more effective, but I can reach out to the entire circle of people that may be present in
Yes.
setting of it.
What I would argue is that you've probably got a very dense network now, and you're looking for a few people to add to that dense network. So what I want to suggest is events, if you want to make a very large, diverse network, you've got to be meeting a lot of people to do that. And then through doing that, you can still identify who those 3, maybe 4 people are that you want to spend 30 minutes with in that future follow-up meeting. So I'm saying you can effectively do both of these things.
I'll just give you another thought in that whole process. Is if I'm there in a social networking more for business, or for business networking. So at the end of the day, am I going to be conducting business with them, with my contacts? I'm not looking at really, I'd much rather have a dense network and be effective and lead to the goal and objective of what I'm trying to accomplish, versus trying to build up a social network and try to know as many people as possible.
I think you're very, I think this is a great question, a great dialogue, so I think everybody walks into that room with that thought process. It'd be more of a utilitarian approach, So maybe the best way that I can try to think of it. You're looking for a few good contacts in there, and if you find them, you're pretty happy. But argue that you left so much opportunity out there. So there's a lot of opportunity with that you're passing up on. So maybe you found 3 or 4 that made sense for you and led to business and it worked out for you. But there may have been bigger opportunities for business there you didn't know about because you didn't spend the time with meeting on those. So yes, congratulations. Maybe you lucked out and you found the right people quickly and built that relationship. But in most of these settings, there's a lot of people that may have been better for you. Maybe not immediately, but down the road. That you spent the time to meet a lot of people.
Point well taken.
But I think it's an excellent comment. I think that's a strategy most people have walking into an event.
Just another comment, like you brought up politicians. In the beginning, they're trying to get elected, they're trying to remember everybody in the room because every vote counts. It's all important. After they've been elected, Now it seems like the shoe is on the other foot, and they don't have to remember everybody's names unless they're running for office or something else.
Well, they're always running, so I would disagree with that. You only get a politician's attention if your constituent will pay attention.
Now, somebody who's a senior person in a position, is less apt to go after all the possible contacts they may have in the room, where somebody who's young would see it as being a big advantage. So there's a lot of differences between the way people have been brought up, the age they're at, where they are in life. I mean, there's pluses and I see the pluses that he has too, and closer contacts, to get things done. Now out here, you may not be able to get as much done. So there's pluses and minuses in both.
Right. Yeah, it depends on politician too. Just so you know, as a reference there, your congressman will get back to you. If you take the time to write a letter and send it to him about something that's important to you, they don't call you if you say, I need to talk to you about this, and you give them a few weeks and then call our office, they'll meet with you. They're very responsive to constituents. And people just assume that they don't, so they take some time to do it. Those guys and gals, it's retail politics where they're always going to be taking your calls. It's kind of surprising how actually responsive they are. People take the time to reach out.
You were saying not on the first page, not something like a business card. So you're there, you're talking to everyone, but you gotta decide that there's someone that you want to give your business card to. Because if you talk to all those people, you're just hoping that you run into them again. That's how will they be part of your network if you don't have contact.
The scenario I'm using is like a day-long conference or even a half-day networking event like this.
So I
Something
went to
maybe
a
more
conference.
compressed like this.
I went to a conference and it was a 3-day conference. But even sometimes if you first meet someone, you're so busy, you don't know if you're going to see them again. When you get business cards. I guess what's the point of meeting someone and then thinking that maybe there's a spark there for something else to happen in the future, but I didn't get their contact information. How would it be part of my network?
Sure. I think the point I'm trying to make there is that it's more important to build a relationship than it is to get the contact information. So if there's no point for a relationship,
I mean, don't just hand your business card to everybody, but if you feel there's something there you like to follow up with.
sure, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Well, with that 3-day conference you're talking about, day one, you grab somebody's card, you don't see them again, I guarantee you don't remember that. Then you get home, you got those 20, 30 cards, oh, that's not that person. You get the happy hour all day, you really don't remember it.
Of those, let's say, of those 500, let's say it's 500 points of contacts that you have up there, how many do you actually have that you reach out to and add value to of those 500?
Zero.
Zero?
I know a lot about networking, I don't know. I don't do it.
From that standpoint, you don't do it, or from any standpoint?
I don't do it. I don't like doing it. So, I've got a job where I don't have to do it.
Gotcha. What would be a realistic amount of contacts to maintain?
That's a good question. All right, so there's a fair amount of research on this that the average human is able to juggle 40 relationships at a given time. So that would be, one way of thinking is if you're looking at my LinkedIn network there's probably about 40 people I'm able to maintain relationships with friends, family, at any given time. Now, in the networking science is the phrase of your active network. So I've got, say, 500 LinkedIn contacts up there. Well, 40 of them are active at any given time, right? And I've got maybe 460 are just dormant. But if I'm moving to a different, say, hey, it's tax season, I need to find a new accountant, maybe I start reaching out to 5 other people to ask them, and I activate a different part of my network. There was some really interesting research done a few years ago that showed that socially skilled entrepreneurs actually activated different parts of their social network as they went through the process of building their company. So they had one part of their group that they were talking about they needed funding, another part where they needed employees, another part where they needed sales help. And so they would go around activating different parts of their network. Yeah, that's a great question.
So we're gonna move now to the networking part of the day, right?
Yeah, so we don't have a full day conference to do here. So what we're going to do is we're going to jumpstart this and talk about 3 different pieces, if you will, to doing a networking event. So the first one is breaking down barriers. Second one is identifying the pieces, and the third one is building a mosaic. So we've got a little bit of an icebreaker exercise here. They'll be able to quickly help you out with the first 2 points. So we're going to do what we're calling a social scavenger.